Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. Halivara Shuanzi, Lizette Martinez, Kenneth Blanksley, Christina McCracken, just listening. Okay, today's Monday, so I will be back later on the other channel doing short readings, talk about entertainment and politics, and do short reading for everyone or for those who have questions in the chat. Having said that, and also if you would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video. Then feel free to call me if you can't get to me. Artist. And also, if I have my Psychic Milou, I have Psychic Milou on Venmo now. If anyone you want to donate to the channel, use Venmo, because some people ask me. My Venmo ID is at Psychic Milou on Venmo. Okay. Having said that, well, I'm sure all of you heard of the attempt on Trump's life. I don't think they understand how much his base, the anger among his base is towards the Epstein files, among other things that he's basically lying to them. And I just heard a little while ago that the young man who attempted, I think he has mental problem, if you ask me. And that's what I've said before, people with mental issues will attempt those things. But they are underestimating how many of those people that exist among his base. They are, he's calling Democrats all kinds of names. But the people who can cause great harm to people in this administration are people from his own base. And it's because of the Epstein files and how much they feel they are being lied to. And according to reports, that was part of this young gentleman's complaint before he tried to pull off this situation. Unfortunately, there are many more of him. You never know what's going to trigger them. That's the problem. That's why I started the show with this. That's my prediction. The next reference is Trump's state of mind after the Supreme Court came down, decision against them with the tariff situation. Intuitively, I feel he has greatly diminished as far as his ability to control his impulses. We know he's been impulsive all along. But after watching him Friday, that so-called news conference that he had, intuitively I feel he has gotten a lot worse. And, some people are concerned that he's scaring the justices with those threats and everything. I don't think so. The justices are going to do what they want to do because they have their own agendas, like I have mentioned before, okay, to keep Republicans in power. And the president should be omnipotent. He does whatever he wants. But what's happening with Trump, intuitively, I feel when I focus on Robert and his cohorts, they feel Trump has gone too far. And also, some of the things that he's doing are too blatant. And he thinks he's above the law. It's their fault. But intuitively, what I'm hearing when I focus on Robert, they underestimated Hi, this is Milou. Sound stuff?
Good morning.
Hi.
Your volume, please.
Okay, thank you. Did Microsoft release something? Yes. I thought they released it on Tuesdays. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me better. Okay. Yes. And it feels like to me, they underestimated Roberts and company, how volatile Trump can be, and his ability to, the threats that he makes, how seriously his base takes those threats that they should do something to help him. And he knows what he's doing in that sense. But the other thing, there are a lot of people in the Republican Party are underestimating is how fast his decline is accelerating. And to be honest with you, I don't feel he has much filter left. Meaning, compared to you and I, there are things we know that are wrong and we won't say them. As far as he's concerned, he doesn't care. He will, anything that comes to, evidently, if you watch what he's posting, whatever little filter he has left is not very much. And the other thing is that intuitively I feel, I'm talking about the Trump team, they are getting very wrong. They believe in the notion that, like Vance always said, he said it in public, they have the guns. So they don't care what anybody, whatever they want to do, they'll do it. There's nothing anyone else can do. I think he's making a big mistake. When you say those things around Trump, or you convince him of that type of thing that, he has full authority, no one can stand in his ways because he has the military behind him. He can order them to do anything he wants. He believes it. He's going to carry it out. And Stephen Miller, we can see what he does on TV. He believes they have plenary. When he says Trump has plenary authority, what he means is him, Vance, and company. Trump is a puppet. Okay? But I feel intuitively they're making a grave mistake, and the Supreme Court underestimated all those things. Now, and it's not only the Supreme Court, Republicans as well, as I stated, they're beginning to realize and wonder what they should do. The Supreme Court will continue to do what I believe I said that Friday, whatever little leverage they would give Trump, he's not going to get it anymore. Because right now what they are thinking is, because of his behavior from Friday, all of them, and I don't care what they say, Republicans and the MAGA side of the Supreme Court, what can be done to get rid of them? That's what they are thinking, and intuitively that's what I feel. Because this is getting dangerous. Not only to us the people, the way has unleashed his CWGs, running around doing all those damages, hurting people. But they are wondering, what else is he going to do? Trump is going to do that can affect their lives in a negative way. He can do something that takes the market, among other things. And he's doing it today. As we know, he takes the market. His friends call him and say, you can't do this, their way of flattering him. And he says, okay, I won't do this anymore. and then the market goes back up, and they make a ton of money because they know before they call him, they have to put some money in there, and then they call him, and then the market bounces back, and then they go their merry way. But the thing is, the Supreme Court and Republicans in general, they are more worried now than ever. And some of them are beginning to talk. And I told you, I predicted before, once his poll numbers reach a certain number, they would be finding the spines. It seems like there are some grumbling going on among Republicans in the House and in the Senate. And yes, and I also predicted that I wouldn't be surprised if they take action to remove him. I've said that before. My friend, it is more likely today because I don't see Trump backing down. The only thing that we will get a relief from is the stock market, but everything else, he's going to continue doing things that are even against his own best interest, just to show. He's a coward, but he thinks he can get away with it. And not until you stop him, he won't stop. If you were to watch Trump's past behaviors, yeah, that's the way he operates. They have to stop him. And that is becoming obvious to Republicans and the Supreme Court. And the notion that somebody posted this morning, they are afraid that this some very high analyst who knows a lot of stuff are worried that the Supreme Court will give Trump a pass on something major just to make him happy because they took this against him. I don't think so. And it's because they are angry, they are afraid, and their fingers on the pulse of the people. Not that they care, but knowing how the poll numbers are so unfavorable to Trump, they are all becoming emboldened. Something is going to happen. It's getting too much for not only us, but for people in government as well. I think I predicted that once. Something is going to have to give. That's my prediction, because Trump won't stop until they remove him. And he may get us onto a war with Iran that can blow up the Middle East, because him and the people around him, they think they're so drunk with power, they don't think anybody's going to fire back. And it will have double effect. Americans are going to go crazy if he starts a war with Iran. And the Iranians are going to respond, and among other unpredictable events that can take place not only in the Middle East but throughout the world. And that's what a lot of smart people are thinking. So, and Republicans and the Supreme Court are fully aware of that. So now it's a matter of they trying to figure out what to do. And yes, you know something? I'm not sure why. You know, sometimes you get those things you don't know. For some reason, they are not seeing eye to eye with Vance. Because I wanted to say, it seemed like they started communicating with him. Something happened. There is some kind of distance between Vance with people in the Senate and in the House. It's probably his arrogance. I wouldn't be surprised. But they don't have much hope. Well, they can control him because the base is not with Vance. Like I've said this before, they can control him better. Well, basically, they are going to be doing the governing. He will do what they tell him to do. And they won't have much problems. But that's what they are thinking right now. Because of these things, they can't. He thinks he knows better than everyone else, and he's wrong in most things most of his ideas. But they will be doing the governing once Trump exits stage left, and it's coming. That's my prediction. The next, guys, I have always told you, by the way, it may take, I have a prediction with the tariff stuff. He's going to have to cough up the money they collected, with all those tariffs. It's a matter of when they pay back those monies. Okay, I don't know how that's going to work, but people, businesses, and I don't know, but they're going to have to pay that money back. That's my prediction. The next thing is, do you guys remember, I've said many times, well, those of you who have been with me for a long time will remember I've said it, that I told you that vision that I had. I saw Russian boots in the White House. Did you guys hear what Trump accused the justices of? They are being manipulated by foreign entities, something like that. The saying that goes, every accusation is a confession. And in Trump's case, if you watch his pattern, when he accuses people of things, it's because that's what he's doing. He's calling everyone thieves. They are rigging everything. It's because that's what he's doing. I'm just citing one example to make clear of what I am saying. When I heard that, it reminded me of what I told you that I saw intuitively. And a lot of things that he's doing, and I'm going to say one more thing. There is an article that says Putin thought Trump was going to do his bidding for him, but he's very disappointed. I saw that on Raw Story this morning. That is true. But I saw that this morning, but I made the connection between when he made that statement, the Supreme Courts are being influenced by foreign powers. I made the connection with the vision that I had, and it's a confession. It is because he's being influenced by Putin, among other super wealthy people who are controlling some of the things that he does. For example, refusing to release the Epstein files. He can do whatever he's doing the best he can, but intuitively I don't feel he's going to succeed. My prediction is those documents will come out one way or the other. But also when I heard him make that statement, those files came to mind as well. To me, it means, as we know, Epstein was, he was an international trafficker, human trafficker. So he has connection with Russia. And I said Friday, according to reports, he was Putin's money manager. So this guy had connections all over the place. And there are other powerful people around the world that we don't know about. And intuitively, I feel accusing those justices of being influenced by external powers. That's one of the things that's holding him back from releasing those files. And when Trump said that he said something to the fact that if they release those files, that's going to hurt his friends. That too is not a confession, intuitively I feel. But no matter, regardless, those files are going to come out. But the Supreme Court, they are very afraid as well, because do you guys remember when the Solicitor General, I mean, that guy wasn't Solicitor General at the time, he was just a lawyer, and he went in front of the Supreme Court to ask the Supreme Court to, he made the argument that Trump should have full immunity. And that lawyer told the Supreme Court, the justices, that Trump should even be covered if he were to kill someone from the Democratic Party. I don't think he named any names, but to me that's what he said. Intuitively, I wouldn't be surprised where we are right now and how desperate and how precipitously I feel he's declining as far as decision making, among other things. And, given how bad we think things are, it feels like to me it could have been worse. He has worse ideas. I just read something this morning, because when I said worse ideas, and I'm being shown something I read this morning to the effect that it says, he said it this morning in a meeting. He would like to send unemployed people in this country to other countries abroad, because that's what other countries do to him. Melania did not come here because she was unemployed. She wanted to come here to work. Yeah, she got lucky. She married a billionaire. She married him. But that's to show you how far. I told you guys in December this guy was declining very fast. And that's what we are watching. But it's scaring a lot of people. And what concerns me is some of the things that he's saying. I wouldn't be surprised he tries to carry them out. And when that lawyer asked that question to the Supreme Court, or suggested to the Supreme Court that Trump should get away with if he kills somebody, given how desperate he is today, and he's going to be more desperate going forward, I'm glad Democrats attorney generals are doing everything in their power to fight back, push back against some of his worst impulses when it comes to the election, because Republicans know they're going to lose, and Trump knows they're going to lose, and if they lose, everything changes. And he's right, and the Republicans will lose the Senate as well. If things continue the way they are today, they're going to lose the Senate as well. That's my prediction. And yes, I wouldn't be surprised that even if he may not take action, because some people, it feels like to me his family, maybe Ivanka, and like I said a little while ago, he has worse ideas, that they could be doing worse things. Somebody, it feels like to me, it's Ivanka. That's telling him, if you do this, that can happen. That's keeping him from, because I feel intuitively those things could be worse. But if he were to, and believe me, this should give us an indication of what their intentions are, and their plans for all those internment sites they are trying to build around this country. It's not only going to be for immigrants. Well, obviously, it's not going to be only undocumented people. Chances are, whether you're documented or not, and if you were to be a naturalized citizen, they're going to do something to you. That's the plan, not for immediate future. That's what it feels like to me intuitively. Let's see what happens. But their plans is more sinister than what we are hearing. And everyone they feel is not contributing to society. It's going to be their call. Good luck. You know, if they feel you're doing a job and that's not, you know, the type of job they feel is serving their purposes, or they just don't like you. Yeah, that's what I feel intuitively. Let's see what happens, my friends. But this is going to be, let me put it this way. I don't feel he's going to have the time to do some of the things that I'm saying, but it's possible because I can confuse time. So I'm just letting you know what's on that Project 2025, that other book that we have not seen. Okay? That's what I have. That's my prediction. Oh my God. Okay, let's see if you guys have questions. Let me see if I missed anything. 1 second. I think I've... Yeah. Okay. Joyce Matthew said that MAGA guy from Shark Tank was panicking because the shareholders want their money and SCOTUS didn't have a plan to make it happen. It's not, well, I don't know, but they're going to get their money. Have a good day, Gloria C. Miss Amanda says, when Miss E18, you weren't kidding. When this blows over, it's going to be epic. Books and movies, etc. Oh, yeah. And it's, well, that's going to be the good side. We're going to hear of the shocking details of the plans that they have. I am saying to you today, okay, that may be like, oh, well, yeah, when we hear them from the horse's mouth. Remember that. Because do you guys remember posting about, 2 years ago when I was saying to you, if he were elected, some of you really got scared when I was telling those stories, making the comparison about the type of people he would hire to do his bidding for him. It's happening. So a lot of stuff that I'm saying today, I'm saying them, some of them will happen, some of them they won't have time to do because, well, like I said, my prediction was Republicans there's a very good chance they would put together with Democrats and impeach him. Okay. Somebody else mentioned the same thing. I'm not talking psychics, I'm talking about experts, you know. They said after the election, that's the difference between the analyst, a Republican expert, election expert or something like that. He says he feels they will impeach Trump and remove him after the election. Me, I'm saying it's going to happen before the election. In fact, soon. I can confuse time, okay? But I thought it was funny. Somebody else is saying the same thing that I have been saying. The only thing is the difference in time. Okay. Raymond Di Pasquale always have great quotes. The comfort of the rich depend upon an abundant supply of poor. Voltaire. Yes, that's very true. Okay. Danielle Martin asks, do you have any insight on how the State of the Union will go tomorrow? Not very well. I mean, you can tell already. I mean, did you guys, I didn't read it. I'm going to confess because he insults, I mean, I think he's lost his meninge It's a Creole. I think it's French word ménage. Ménage. He lost his mind because I've been saying to you, the decline is accelerating and it's bad. So I don't read his tweets anymore. They posted on Blue Sky this morning the way he's complaining. I read the first couple of, I basically quickly read the first couple of sentences from some kind of something he tweeted about the Supreme Court justices. He's still, well, I'm not surprised he's still holding on to the anger and he wants to do something to them. So I wouldn't be surprised is it tomorrow night or Wednesday? I don't remember exactly which day. It's not going to go great. In fact, it may even be embarrassing for him and Republicans. Okay, so and I said Friday. One of you asked me Friday, how did that? I don't remember what the question was. Somebody asked me, oh yes, what was his press conference was going to be? And I said he's going to be ranting about the tariffs, and that's what he did. Okay. He's still angry. You know what's the other thing that's angering him? He feels like he's above the law. He wants to be king. As we notice, he's putting his pictures all over the place. Okay. We have to adore him, and yes, everyone should yes massa to him. And the Supreme Court checked him. I mean, given that he has that disease, it's making it even worse, guys. Like I said before, he has the filter. I think it's the front lobe thing. Those of you who are experts on that stuff, please let me know. It's almost gone. Okay, and I said before, watch. I did not know. I'm not an expert in this, obviously, dementia. But I predicted before that it would accelerate. There's a big difference. Now it feels like to me, his complaints are worse than before. Please let me know if I'm wrong. The guy is threatening, he doesn't go out and literally threaten the Supreme Court. But the way he's talking, if something was to happen to them, he wouldn't mind. And, that's why a lot of people are saying, the Supreme Court may be afraid and give him a win, probably with the Voting Rights Act, okay, that will give him hope. He can keep the House. I doubt it, okay? Although they have their own agendas, but I don't feel it's going to have to do with what Trump says. Because, guys, remember, Republicans have their own group and all team and all that kind of stuff, okay? And they're in power. So they can get their levers. And Mike, I believe, is Mike Johnson in charge oh no, I think it's Trump. Oh no, DOJ, probably Bundy, who's in charge of the Capitol Police. But they can, a lot of ways they can find, beef up the security around the justices if they have to. So I'm not worried about that stuff. Okay, that's my prediction. Let's see what happens. Sharon Jones, you say, Milou, I'm concerned about Jasmine Crockett getting the nomination and winning the Senate seat. Do you still see her winning despite Talico getting PAC money behind him? I still feel she's going to win. I mean, Talico they're both very good. But if I see it changing, I'll let you guys know. But she'll be fine. Crockett is nobody's fool. And she stands up for herself. So, yeah. Okay, let me see let me scroll back more. Okay. Oh, somebody asked me, what was the question? Okay, somebody asked me, is there a secret commission leading the presidency? No. Well, the secret, it's not a commission, it's people in Trump's cabinet that are doing everything. If that's what you meant, the question, if that's what you mean, yeah. If Trump just being used as a public frontage Is Trump being used as a public frontage image? Yes. By Stephen Miller, Vaught, Vance, even, I don't think I've ever mentioned his name before as doing the manipulation behind the scene as well, but Rubio too. A whole bunch of people behind the scenes, my friend. They understand the Trump psychology, and they know they have to go out there and make themselves look foolish, like we see Besant doing lately. Okay, at least I see him going on the Sunday shows, making himself look more and more foolish. Please let me know if I'm wrong in the comment. Please post a comment. But yeah, and I've said that before. Okay, and that's why I never saw Trump before the election. He's not in charge. Everything is, if you watch, what does he do? He has to take his medication at night, and as he tweets all night long, by the time morning comes around, he's groggy. He comes down around after 11. Okay, he's meeting with everybody and his media. The guy doesn't do anything. And then they run a couple of things by his desk. He says, yeah, okay. They know how to manipulate him, and to a degree, that's what I feel. And then life goes on. Yeah, in that sense, they're manipulating him. And I said that before. And the abuse. Okay. Let's see. Oh, guys, did you see Patel celebrating? I'm glad we won the hockey thing. But did you see you know what Patel reminds me of? The way he uses our tax money for him to have fun with his girlfriend. And he's in Italy right now, the way he was celebrating. When you are in the corporate world, some managers, they can spend a little extra money, to do things. Nothing major, but they are the boss. Okay, if they go out, they are allowed to spend $50 to treat some people to lunch, and if they spend 70 or 80, But it's a small scale thing, but that's one thing that we all can understand. You know what I mean? But Patel is doing it at a much larger scale. He made believe he had to go to Italy in some kind of meeting with some intelligence people. It just so happened to be, that's when America was playing, and he went to the game. But my friends, watch what happens after this whole thing is over. Expect Patel to be sitting in front of Congress, testifying, and get prosecuted for a number of offenses. Not while Bundy is there. If he's not careful, like a lot of people in this administration, we'll do a tour of prison. Okay? I was thinking this morning, Trump may have to pardon all of them before he leaves office. I don't know how this is going to happen. I felt the states can go get after him too for other infractions. I don't know what they are. But as we know, they are standing in the way. He's standing in the way. Well, he's being directed not to cooperate. For example, with Minneapolis. They are on their own when it comes to investigation, and they're investigating the death of Good and Freddie. I don't know how it works, but things like that, Patel may be held accountable. I don't know how, or similar issues that have happened or are coming down the road. he will be held accountable. That's my prediction. Okay. Z. Alvarez says, Milou, do you feel he will go to war with Iran? And if so, how long will it last? You know, I feel he made, like I said, I don't remember exactly when I said it, he made, do a strike or something like that because people are going to tell him or explain to him how dangerous this is. Some people are talking to him already, and also Congress is beginning to find their voices, and it's going to continue. So that's what's going to keep us from, I think the Senate is going to prevent him, I don't know how, from making this bigger, because they know they don't want the Middle East to explode. So that's what's going to save us from him unleashing, thinking it's Venezuela. And even Venezuela right now, Venezuelans are getting angry. They are, for some reason, I don't know, there's a group or something that's beginning to stand up, okay? Because they feel Trump, they're not accusing Americans, they're accusing Trump of wanting to take over their resources. That's the worst thing you want to do. Or let any, think you're going to be able to walk into a country and take their natural resources, take over them. Very dangerous. And that's what he thinks he's going to do. That's why people, I've vaguely read something this morning that he's trying to do. It's going to be a problem. But Iran is not Venezuela. Iran is a whole other ball game. Yeah. So, but I think there's a lot of move behind the scenes that will block that. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for spending time with me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilou.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. If you like the channel and you are not a subscriber yet, please subscribe, and also don't forget to tap on the notification bell. Please give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. Craig Dixon asked me a question. I don't remember what it was. Oh, Craig Dixon, how pissed off is Trump about the Supreme Court. Very pissed. And that's why we're going to see how pissed he is tomorrow. Okay. All right, everyone. Those of you who usually come on my evening show on Mondays, I'll see you there. Otherwise, see you all tomorrow. Till then, bye.